go ahead and record this, but I'm excited to chat with you guys. I know that we talked on Sunday night, and I know that we talked about just kind of the process of meeting our own needs through this business and what we're doing. And yesterday, was yesterday Monday? Yesterday was Monday. Okay, it feels like it's been a week already. But yesterday I was going through my back office, I was digging through everybody else's back offices, and I was looking at where everyone is. And it kind of feels like I was filling out my leader in action form yesterday, and I missed one category. I don't know if y'all have ever done this. So when the leader in action form, you fill it out at the end of the month, if you get a 0 on anything, it cancels out your whole leader in action form. So, to have all of these huge numbers and then to have one area where no one, it didn't happen, it's just like, so I sat there with that yesterday morning, and I was like, and then I started looking. Last month, we enrolled 13 people into our organization, which is incredible. Like, that was something to celebrate. But I had to wrap my mind around what is celebrated by everyone else and then where I can find gratitude and celebrate. So no, it wasn't the best month for me personally, but our team had a great month. Our team was enrolling people. Our team were helping people get started. Our team was holding great retention. Those are things to celebrate. So before we jump in, I want to encourage you guys, as you're filling this out, don't let this be the ride or die of your business. Don't let this be the thing that defines whether or not you're successful, because I have done that. And what happens when you do that is you start to feel unworthy. You start to feel like you're not good enough, like maybe this isn't for you, like maybe it's not going to be any different than anything else you've ever done. And you start to doubt why you're here. And it goes back to those needs, the six needs that we talked about. But today we're going to talk a little bit about something else, and then I'm going to talk about some ideas that I have for the group for this month. And you guys can tell me if I'm way off or not, but I'm going to send out an email today kind of with the update of what we decide. So I'm going to try to get this quick and dirty and just be quick. So habits are what we condition ourselves to do and to believe. It's something that a habit, filling out my leader in action form, that's a habit. It's an incredible habit. It helps me track my business. It's great. But the emotions that I tie to this leader in action form starts to create habits and beliefs about my worthiness, about my ability as a leader, about my ability as a business builder, because whatever's on the sheet tells me about who I am, but that's not really true. That doesn't take into account life. That doesn't take into account other people's lives. That doesn't take into account anything. That is just strictly numbers that relates to, a good week or a rough week or, yada, yada, yada. But I want you to think about something in your life as you made a change. So joining this business, deciding to become a business builder, setting that goal for rank advancement, or maybe helping your people rank advance and they just don't want it. Because I know this is an emotion that a lot of us have been feeling lately. When you have something in mind that you want for other people, but they don't necessarily want it for themselves, how does that make you feel? What kind of emotions are you tying to that? Internal rituals that we create around a result creates limiting emotions or limiting beliefs. So internal rituals that are created by someone else's behavior or a way that we react to a behavior creates these limiting emotions or limiting beliefs. And it's every time we go back into that situation, we tap into that and it becomes a habit. You start to think that it's normal for people to tell you no. So you resist the action of asking. Does that make sense? So, and I was listening to this and I was like, oh, that's good. We start to assume the behaviors of what has happened one time because we condition ourselves to think that it's going to continue to happen. So for your people, this is just an idea, for your people that are getting started with these products that have had some resistance, maybe they just wanted a shake or they just wanted, the pre-workout, they didn't want to invest in a full system. Think about them. Think about how maybe they've had an experience that has conditioned them to think that nothing is going to work for them. So maybe they've tried a lot of different programs or systems or supplements and it hasn't worked for them. So in their mind, as you're telling them about this awesome system that they have yet to buy into the value of, they're thinking automatically, because they're conditioned to think that way, well, how is this going to be any different? What's going to be different about this experience than the last time? What's going to be different about spending this $300 than it was last time? You know, that's how they're conditioned to think. Or you could have someone who's had a great experience, but is just looking for a different avenue, and they're conditioned to see the possibilities. They're excited, they're energetic, they're like, oh, I would love to talk to you about this. Tell me more about it. They're conditioned to see the possibilities, not the limitations. So it takes both kinds in order to develop who we are. So I want you to think about this, and I want you to write down, what are your 5 most prominent limiting emotions around either this business or signing new clients or helping people rank advance, or maybe it's just keeping your people on the system and consistent. Like, what are some different emotions that you have had in the past, maybe a past experience, or you have recently experienced? So a couple of ideas would be frustration, disappointment, feelings of failure, feelings of not enough, self-doubt, self-consciousness, any of these different feelings. So I want you to think about that. And then I want you to choose one emotion, and I want you to think about the steps that it takes you to get there. So if you're frustrated, what leads up to frustration? So step 1, you put your energy out there, you're really excited, you're having a great conversation, you get ghosted. It's like they were so interested and then they don't respond, okay? Then they respond again and you're like, yeah, here we go, we're getting it. And then they ghost you again. And then it leads up to the point where you send them the cart and they start the cart and then they ghost you again. But this time it's for like months. And then you're at a low point and they message you again, and you're already immediately frustrated when they message you because you're predicting the behavior of them ghosting you. And so you're training yourself now in conversations, now with different people, to be frustrated because you've had a bad experience that's created this habit of behavior of when people ghost you, now you're immediately frustrated instead of telling a better story for them. Life happened, their kid got sick, they got busy, they forgot. Maybe we didn't do a great job of following up. We didn't do a great job of checking in on them. We didn't do a great job of, looking to see what's going on in their life. So our frustration may be misplaced because of something that we're not doing. Now, they may just be a butthole, and they may just be ghosting you and just not be ready. And instead of saying they're not ready, they just think the best thing is to not answer. There are both kinds of kinds. But our job is to look deeper into that situation and say, okay, what could I do differently? If they're not responding to my message, let's look at their profile. Let's see what's going on in their life. Let's comment on some things. Let's engage with them a little bit. If they're asking for advice on something, let's send them an advice. Like, look it up in the yellow pages where they're at and say, hey, this is the top recommended, pediatrician in this area, or this is the best, whatever. Like, you're giving recommendations or you're giving a referral. And then maybe they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I didn't get back to you. So you're now changing that to see possibility instead of frustration. Again, there's still going to be people that don't follow through with that, but you're going to condition yourself to do the back end work of not just being so ready for them to have a sale immediately, that you're investing a little bit more in their progress. If there's someone you want to chase after, you want on your team, you want to serve, that will happen. If there's someone that you don't, you will find yourself resisting the follow-up because you're like, maybe I don't really want to work with them. But the same goes with, and this is something you have to interrupt a pattern. This becomes a pattern of thinking, and you have to interrupt that by thinking differently, by choosing to see a possibility in a frustration, by choosing to think a little bit differently about the subject. And the same is true about positive thoughts and emotions. So when you are at your most powerful state, how do you feel? Do you feel motivated? Do you feel inspired? Do you feel like you could talk to anyone? Do you feel like you love your family and you feel really at peace? Maybe you feel like nothing could touch you and you're so energetic and you just like all the good things. And I think about this whenever I'm having a really good day. Some of the things that I feel is I feel really inspired. I feel really creative. I feel like I could write and type and do lots of live videos, and I can have conversations with anyone. I can invite anyone to this business. I love my husband. Everything he does is right. You know, my children are precious angels. Like that's a like incredible, awesome day. So why don't I have more of those days? Why don't I tap back into that? And so it's the same thing. Write down the steps that it takes for you to get there. What has to happen in order for me to feel that way all of the time? This is conditioning your mind to look for those things. For me, when I'm having a really great day, I've gotten up at my designated time, which is 4:30. It's kind of hard to do, especially since I like to stay up a little bit later. But I get up at 4:30. I drink a glass of water. I have my coffee. I do my stretches because I'm officially old now and I have to stretch to like get out of bed. I do my stretches. I have my coffee. I have my quiet time. I sit and I write in my journal. I pray over my team. I pray over my day. I pray for my children. I pray for my husband. I get in my creative space. I put my posts out there for the morning. I am most creative at about 6 o'clock in the morning, which is so wild. And I'm usually done being creative at about 9. So that's hard when, you know, like people need you to be on all day. But when I condition my day that way and I set it up and I'm like, nothing can touch me, I am in control of my day. I'm in control of my emotions. Then, I get my work done and I'm pretty much done by 9 o'clock in the morning. I've had messages sent out. I'm following up with people. I'm checking in with people. I posted in my groups. I connected with my customers. I'm sending encouragement out. I've done birthday messages. So by 9 o'clock, I'm done. And I can walk into my day knowing that everything else is extra. My day is great because the things that I resist doing most are done first in the morning. The things that help me have a great day, but that I still resist because I know that they move my business forward. But if I wait till after 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm so reluctant to doing them. If I get those done first, I know that's going to set me up for a great day. I know I'm going to have a great day. And no matter what comes my way, I'm not constantly worrying about the work that I'm not doing. Does that make sense? And just like we can stair step into the positive emotions, we have to, when we notice ourselves spiraling, we have to change our state. We have to get up, we have to move around, we have to turn on some music, we have to do something different. Change your posture, change where your feet are at, change your body language, change something so that you are changing your state. Y'all still tracking with me here? Changing your state, okay. So procrastination is also a ritual and a habit. Who feels the pressure of procrastination? Like I said, when I wait till after 10 o'clock in the morning, I procrastinate on getting the things done that I know I need to get done because I don't really want to talk to people anymore. Like my creative juices are done. I want to spend more time pouring into my team at this point. I want to spend less time having conversations, less time doing the gritty, like bold work. I want to do more of the uplifting work, more of the encouraging work, more of the guiding work. That's the kind of work that I want to do. So procrastination is also a habit and a ritual. It's something that we teach ourselves is where we condition ourselves for it. And one of the things that I want to encourage you guys to think about when you're procrastinating on sending that message, talking to that person, making that post, I want you to change your state. Same thing. I want you to get up. I want you to turn some music on. I want you to dance around. I want you to walk around. I want you to do something different that changes your energy. I have a mini trampoline in my office. I jump on my trampoline. I jump on my trampoline and I jump around and I turn some music on because it changes my state. Before I coach you guys, I am changing my state. I am physically moving my body, turning on some music, something that uplifts me, changing my state. Because the last thing I want you to get on here and do is listen to me go, okay, so this month we're going to shoot for 10 enrollments and I really want you guys to rank advance, and it'd be really nice if one of you hit like a 5-cycle bonus, and we need to support our team. Like, nobody wants to listen to that. I would be like, no, I can't. I've heard people like that and I have literally turned off the call and said, I cannot. No, because it lowers your energy and it puts you in a funk. So that's what I'm saying. influence the energy that you are putting onto people. When you feel like, I cannot do this, I want you to jump around and I want you to send a voice message to someone, because the energy of the increased heart rate comes through and you're like, oh my gosh, you would not believe what I just did. You would not believe what I just learned. I thought of you, because it's a changing of our state, because we get too conditioned into our own behaviors that we've always done for a long time. Okay? Condition yourself to see that not taking action is more painful than procrastination. One of the things, and I thought about this last night, I was sitting there and I was like, I could really have a shake, or I could keep cleansing. I could really have a shake, or I could keep cleansing. You know, I thought about that and I was like, you know, I've made it all day today and I haven't felt the need to crave, and I feel good. I could just go to bed right now and I'm fine. The idea of me having that shake was more painful than actually than continuing to cleanse, because I set a goal for myself. I set a goal for myself and made a promise to myself. I was going to finish my first 2-day cleanse because my body is in ridiculous inflammation right now. So bad Friday, I couldn't get out of bed, couldn't function, couldn't work, couldn't sit up without pain all over my body. And I know that that's a call for me to take action. It's more painful for me to stay in that state of no energy, terrible mood, terrible pain, than it is for me to sacrifice food for 2 days, honestly. And I feel like a freaking rock star today. Just gonna say that. So think about that in your business. Is it more painful for you to sit there and wish that you would just send that message, or to just balls up and send the message? I know the answer to that because I do it too. Okay. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I want you to jump around, I want you to move your state, and I want you to do it. And you don't have to do 10, just do 1. 1 will get you closer to where you want to be. And then changing the way that you think about doing this business, you think about offering this opportunity to people. I have to versus I want to. You don't have to do anything. This is an option for you. No one is going to you're your own boss. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to show up for calls. You don't have to show up in the group. You don't have to enroll people. It's something you feel called to. It's something that excites you. It's something that you want to do. You want to share this opportunity because of how it has changed your life. You want to share these products because how amazing it makes you feel. You want to tell more people about this because you want people to feel as good as you feel. That's important. It's important to think about, I have to do this versus I want to do this. And so when you think about this, and I want you to start teaching your people this, I have to have 2 shakes today versus I want to have 2 shakes today. I have to cleanse today versus I want to cleanse today. That is something that over this next month, I really want us to focus on. You don't have to do anything. You can stay exactly where you're at right now in the place that you're at with no change physically, financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You can stay where you're at. Or you can have the opportunity to change that because you want to change that, because you desire change, because you desire more for your family and for yourself and for your finances and for your mental, spiritual well-being, for your community, for the women that you have the opportunity to work with, the people you have the opportunity to work with. If you don't do this, what is the cost? I know we have been talking about this for the last month, literally, about changing what if you stayed the exact same for the next 20 years? Would you be satisfied with that? Or would you constantly be going, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have just sent that message. I wish I would have, done this differently. I wish I would have just taken that leap. If you don't make changes, if you don't send those messages, if you don't follow up with people, if you don't cleanse, what is the cost to you? What's the cost to you? What's the consequences? Is it painful? Is it painful enough that whenever you think about not doing the things that move you forward, that it's like, no, that's not worth it. It's not worth staying in this. It's not worth staying where I'm at right now. It's not worth constantly feeling like I'm not enough because I won't just send the freaking message, or I won't just have that conversation, or I won't just be bold enough to say, you know what, I see what's going on and I think this is going to be awesome for you. You know why? Because you're a rock star, because you're energetic, you love people, you're a servant-hearted leader. And that's what you need, is a consistent plan to get you into that place of growth. And you don't have it right now where you're at. And I would love to offer that to you. You're confident about it. You're energetic about it. If you had already gotten to this place, the vision that you see, if you'd already achieved that, what would that feel like? What would those emotions be like for you? Exciting, energetic, so proud of yourself. Oh my gosh, Jackie, when you pay for that second honeymoon for you and your husband, like you're gonna feel so excited. You're gonna be on the plane, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. Like we're doing this, like we're going on our honeymoon, our second honeymoon. And I paid for it with my Isagenix business. And now I get to love on my husband and be so grateful that we get to do this together. And I don't have to worry about my kids because someone's watching them. And we get to spend a week together in the place that we desire, just enjoying each other's time, something we haven't made time for in years. That's how that's going to feel. And it's going to feel awesome and incredible. And so when you get to that point where it's more comfortable for you to stay where you're at, I want you to go to that place. And I want you to remind yourself of what it feels like when you achieve that. What does it feel like when you're walking across stage and you're telling people your story and you are literally showing them where you came from and how hard it was, but you showed up anyway. You sent one message, and one message is the difference between where you're going to be 5 years from now and where you're at right now that you're so discontent with and you're so not happy with. It just takes one. It just takes you being 1% better. And you are on stage, you're walking across stage, you're accepting that word for 6 and 7 figure earner. You have an incredible team of women who are mission driven and servant hearted, and they are excited about what we get to do. They are loving and growing and living. That's the state that you have to get in when you work, when you serve people with these products. And I know it's hard to do it every single day, but that is something that we have to consciously train ourselves to do, is to get in that state, to remind yourself, when I am on the plane to Fiji, it's going to feel incredible. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be that 7-year anniversary trip that I wanted to pay for, but I didn't have the funds for it. It's going to feel like I finally made it. I'm actually doing the things that I prayed about, and I'm in motion, and I'm consistent, and it's blessing our lives in more ways than one. And it's blessing the people that I get to work with. Develop the physical habit of physically moving when you feel like procrastinating, of physically changing your state, of doing something different, of getting up and jumping around and turning on maybe a song that reminds you of your vision, that requires a little bit more energy, that excites you. So when you do it, you're like, yeah, I'm here for it. Okay, that was a lot of work. Okay, do we feel better now? Do we feel the process? This is a process. This is not an overnight thing. I have been working through this Bible study, Get Out of Your Head by Jenny Allen, and it's talking about taking your thoughts captive. And it's hard to do it in the beginning, but once it becomes a habit for you, it becomes easy. When you hear that limiting belief come in of like, I'm not worth this, this is never gonna work out, I tried this before and it didn't happen, you're like, wait a second. No, I am called to this place. Literally, God moved heaven and earth so that I could be here. Divine intervention, divine opportunity. I'm here. There's proof. Here's my proof. Pull out your proof. When you start to feel like I'm not good enough, no one's getting results, you screenshot those messages that people send you of, oh my gosh, Jackie, I feel so amazing. Kendra, I cannot believe I just earned $300. Like, how did I even earn $300? You screenshot those things, you print it out, you save them on a board, and when you are having a funky day or make a collage on your phone, you go back to that and you remind yourself, people are getting change. It's happening. We're shifting. It's good. And then do one thing that you don't want to do. Send that one message that you don't want to send. Drink that one cleanse drink you don't want to drink. Like, whatever it is, send inspiration to one person. Allow grace for one person. Because I know we're in a season right now where we all need grace. It's weird. It's funky. Everybody's in their own thing. We all need grace. We all need grace for this. We all need grace to make it through. So think about that. That's what we're going to shift to. In this month of October, we're going to shift to focusing on that wellness, helping our people make that habit shift, because it's all right here. It's all between our ears. And so what I want to encourage you guys to listen to or to start looking for is different tools to help you change your habits. You all have access to my Tony Robbins app. I encourage you to listen to it. Go back through the 30 days of power. It's taken me longer than 30 days, let's be honest, but that's where all of this is coming from. from my growth, I'm able to like pour out into you guys, and we're going to pour into our people, and we're going to help people have some breakthroughs before the end of this year. Okay, that's my goal, is that we're going to have, people are going to freaking break through. But we have to show up for ourselves first. You can't serve other people if you are not taking care of yourself. I don't care if you enroll one person or if you enroll 50. You have to take care of yourself, because at some point, if you are not taking care of yourself, you are going to start falling through the cracks. You are going to start doubting yourself. You're going to just like fall apart. And you are the most important person in your business. You are the most important person on your team. You before them. And I know that that's not culturally popular. Actually, it is popular to be like all about you, but this is a time where you have to be in control, and you have to be the one that, you know, you're taking care of yourself first. So what I'm proposing, okay, are you ready for this? What I am proposing is that we kick off an 11-day reset on October 26th. So right now we're in the 28 days of change, or 28 day, whatever, of wellness. I propose that we do a 5-day free group on starting then the 19th. I think the 19th, October 19th, we do a 5-day free group. Goes from Monday to Friday. And the whole time we are trying to get people into our 11-day reset. One of the tools that I learned yesterday that has changed everything is doing a power hour in the morning. I shared the power hour template in our team page, and you guys are welcome to that. The meeting code for the Zoom call that they host every morning is on there. I was on there this morning. I achieved so much in 1 hour. It's at 7:30 Eastern time, 6:30 Central time, 5:30 Mountain time. But I know it's early. But I was up and I was doing things. I was like, oh, okay. So I was sending messages, and they tell you, like they say, okay, we've got 3 minutes. We're going to send birthday messages. Or, okay, now we're going to move on to, you're going to go interact in the groups. You're going to comment on stuff. Things that we think about doing, but we're like, we get lost in Facebook. They're like, okay, time's up. Move on to the next thing. We've got 2 minutes. We're going to go green light message people. Everyone that has their active light on, we're going to watch their stories, or we're going to send them a message. I got through so much work in 1 hour. And they'll keep it on for like 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever. But like, if you can get on and you can start your morning in that kind of upbeat momentum, or you get up an hour before it and you do a workout, or you work out after it, or, you know, it just starts your day off good, because you're already in motion. And the things that we resist doing later in the day when we're tired and we don't want to talk to people, gets us fired up for the day. It gets us energized and like ready. Oh, Casey's in the waiting room. It gets us energized and it gets us ready to do the things that we need to do throughout the day. So I want to encourage you guys, if you are someone that is an early bird, go back to the team page, which I will be cleaning up later this week, so that there's not so many things everywhere. I know there's a lot, but start paying attention to the Team Limitless team page. There is going to be a lot of information, a lot of direction in there about how we move forward. I'm going to share how we're going to do the 5-day free group. I'm going to lay it out before we do it. That way I can hand it to you guys and you have it. And you're ready to rock and roll. Because one of the things I want to do is to be able to hand the group over. I want you guys to take charge of that, get excited about it, come up with new ideas for things that we can, you know, help people with. I like the Winbox, #Winbox. I feel like that's a great way to get people to engage. But making sure that wellness is a part of your posts throughout the day. Obviously, we want to talk about wellness. We want to talk about different things to advocate for wellness, but we also want to talk about the basics, the system, the products. Like those are the things people need to be educated on. And then adding your flair. How have you used the system? What are some things that make life easier for you using the products? And then a wellness tip, talking about habit development, talking about, you know, making sure that you're getting enough sunlight, like any of the quirky things that you know that promote wellness. Moving your body for 30 minutes a day increases your endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people don't kill their husbands. They just don't. My favorite quote. But, you know, I really want you guys to start taking charge and throwing out ideas for things. As you have ideas, don't ever feel hesitant to recommend them. If you think there's something we could be doing differently to engage people, put it out there. Like, that's why I put you in a message thread, is because you are the leaders of this team. It's not just me. I'm guiding the ship, but you guys are helping row. And so if you have an idea, if you have something that you think would work, recommend it. I'm all here for it. If you want to take over and you want to do things, I'm here for it. Let's do it. But October 19th through 23rd, let's do a 5-day free group. It could be a fun fall recipe. It could be a fun fall fitness. It could be fun anything, something fall to get people in motion, to get them out of their funk. Maybe it's a 5-day, habit change group or something like that. And then October 28th, the whole week, we're talking about, I'm on the wrong month, sorry. October 26th, just kidding. We're gonna do an 11-day reset. The whole week, we're talking about, actually starting on the 12th, we'll start talking about this 11-day reset. And you guys, one of the things that I did this morning was I went back and I commented on 11-day reset result picture that I had, and I bumped the post, and I got a lot of feedback on it. People were like, oh, I would love to do an 11-day reset. That's the kind of things that we're doing in the Power Hour. We're bumping posts. We're going back to others' posts. Like I'll go back to one of y'all's posts today and I'll look at it and I'll comment on it. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe how much progress we've made in such a short time. Like, you're killing it. Can you remember like when you got started? Do that with your people. Do that with the people that you want to work with. Go back on their post and be like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. It bumps the post. It bumps it in the algorithm. It reminds them, oh yeah, I remember that time. Oh yeah, I remember that. But October 26th, we will do a 11-day reset. Again, there will be an outline. We're going to start using Trello as a team because I don't trust Facebook to keep things. And so we're going to start using Trello as a team. I'm going to lay it out, make it organized for you guys so that you have it. But I'm so excited. I don't know. That's really all I had. Y'all have anything to add? I know that was a lot. Sorry. Said it was going to be short and it wasn't.
I just need to figure out, I need to talk to the people who have told me kind of like, yes, no, I'm not ready, I am ready. Message them about being excited, about, how do I get them from that, I'm going to try this for right now, but eventually, if this doesn't work, I want to try what you have. That's kind of where I'm at.
Conversation about their goals?
Not yet.
Okay.
I have with a couple of people.
Okay, the people that you have had that conversation with, just like I pointed out to you, Jackie, I cannot even believe how awesome you're going to feel when you're sitting on that plane with your husband on the way to Fiji. It's going to be such a great feeling. I know it. I know that you're going to be so excited and you're going to be so proud of yourself. Paint that picture for them. That is part of getting people in it, is being able for them to see it. Being able for them to feel those emotions. Like there was a woman that I told you guys about. She didn't end up purchasing anything because she only wanted 2 products that I knew weren't going to give her results. So I said, remember when we talked on the phone and you told me how miserable you felt, how you put on 60 pounds in the last, 7 months, and you just don't feel like yourself, you're not sleeping good, and you don't feel great, and you resonated so strongly with my story when I shared how incredible these products have made me feel. If I had only used those 2 products, I would have never experienced that, and I would have quit, which is why I'm not recommending those to you now. If you had told me that your goals were different, yeah, I would totally go with that. But here's the deal. I know what's going to help you. I know because I've been there and I feel it and I still feel it. And I still experience those results when I put that nutrition in my body. It's the same thing. Feel, felt, found. I used to feel the exact same way. I was hesitant. I didn't want to spend the money. I know it was a lot of money. I hated paying for shipping. I felt like maybe this was just going to be one of those other things like I had tried before, or, I wasn't going to be successful with it. But what I found is I went all in. I got my products. I started using them. I started plugging into our accountability system. And I absolutely feel the best that I have felt in a long time. Feel, felt, found. You can never go wrong there because you're identifying their pain point. You are saying that you understand because you have been there or have been somewhere similar. You're identifying a limiting belief about what they're about to do, and then signifying that it's okay to want change for yourself. It's okay to go all in and experience that because there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. There is a no-fail, like you can't fail here. Whatever you invest, you have the opportunity to either earn back or to get back if you are not satisfied with your products. Does that help? But we have to get to that point where we are asking deeper questions that gets to a bigger vision. Kendra, for the people that you want to run with, that you see the potential that they have, it's about asking, well, I think you've had this conversation with some of them and they're like, I would love $500 a month to, be able to shop or be able to pay off my car note. Paint that picture for them. Hey, Susan, I just want to let you know, you have 13 people in your downline already. And she'd be like, wait, what? You're gonna be like, yeah, there's 13 people underneath you. Well, how is that possible? I haven't ordered in months. Yeah, well, that's just how Isagenix compensation plan works. Remember that one time we talked about your goals and you were saying how you would love to not have that credit card bill anymore, or to just not have to worry about it because it's not another bill. Hold on. Okay, sorry, about to die here. Anyway, but you go back to that conversation that you had and you talk about, you point out the things and you build the vision around it. You build what's possible around it. You add the emotion in, because that's where things change, is when you add that emotion in. When you add that emotion of like being able to achieve those things or being able to do those things. There's a song that I have. It's called This Could Change Everything. That's the song that's going to play when I walk across stage or when I get on stage to teach people. That's my song. This could change everything, because it has changed everything. What's your thing? Give them a thing to focus on. Build that emotion around what's possible, because that's when you don't struggle with objections anymore. That's when people don't say no to you, because you've painted that vision so clearly, they see it for themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. 1 minute left. Does anybody have anything to add? I will upload this immediately to YouTube. No? Okay.
I think so.
Well, I want to encourage you guys. I know last month was not ideal for a lot of us. I know August really wasn't either. It's a new month. It's a new start. It can look however you want it to. It doesn't matter what happened before. This is totally new and totally fresh. So I want you to walk into this with open ideas about what is possible and just be so excited about it, because you have everything it takes right now. You don't need anything else. You're already there. You just have to embrace it and run with it, whatever that looks like for you. Good? Okay. Go have a wonderful